You are not gonna believe what the Hales Marilyn's lawyer has requested and what she did just days later. We found one thing to be true. Potentially the only thing odder than Otter Creek is actually Marilyn Raby, my warehouse landlady, who has absolutely no concept of landlord or tenant laws. I promise you, you're not going to believe what she's done now. But to understand what she just did, we almost have to go all the way back to the beginning of the story. And this story has been going on for over a year and a half. Yeah, a year and a half battle. I can't even believe it.
All right, so the next question is, where do you put all this stuff? Well, we just had to upgrade the warehouse space because we have too much right now. We do have 2 employees working for us as well. We give them 25% commission. Anything they sell, they get 25% of. It's that easy. It's easy money. And so everything we just procured is this huge warehouse space. Anything that's over there, that all has to be removed still. And we bring it right off the truck. And it goes into the warehouse spacing. And the other thing that we're gonna do here is we're gonna do garage sales right here on site. And so people can come to the actual industrial area, pick things up, piece of cake, right?
I know what you're thinking. Jeremy, your editing skills were incredible back in 2018. Hey, hang on tight because we're gonna keep flashing back.
We head to the warehouse. We're passing the Salvation Army right here. So a lot of homeless are right around the warehouse. As a matter of fact, they usually hang out here. And we'll go over the bridge. So I'm just a stone throws away from where a lot of people go for help. And if we go over the bridge, there's what's called the Hope Center. And the Hope Center is a community effort as well. And nobody's there right now. I think it's Wednesdays and Fridays and Saturdays. Right there, the Hope Center. They pass out food. Hope Center, warehouse, literally across the street. I'm here. I got the key.
It all started when Marilyn wanted to sever the business partnership with her business partner, Brian. And to do such, she tried to undercut him in multiple different ways. One of the things she did is she actually came to me while I was at the warehouse in front of employees, and she stated that the warehouse building had been sold and that I was no longer going to be able to rent there. And I stated, let me know who bought it, because that's who the checks are going to go to now. Whenever you buy a piece of property, you purchase every single rental lease that comes with that piece of property. You can't buy a piece of property and go, oh, there's a rental lease. Nope, it's null and void, and throw it out the door. You buy it, and then you determine once it's up whether you want to keep it or not. Well, at that point, Marilyn came up with more lies, and then more lies, and then more lies, and ultimately told me I was no longer to write checks to B&M Storage, which is their business, Brian and Marilyn Storage, but I was to write checks directly to her. Remember, this is all in front of employees. I've been leasing this warehouse space for over 2.5 years. As a matter of fact, we're standing in the exact spot where I met Marilyn for the very first time. She was here with her insurance company. They were renewing rates, they had to do inspections, and the very first words that came out of her mouth, how much are you paying Brian rent every month? I said $400. She said, great! You gotta believe that the insurance people are gonna be subpoenaed for that conversation. Being a professional landlord since the age of 21, and now I'm 44, I know the depths, I know the details of landlord and tenant laws. And I understand that there are individuals out there that own property and they have no concept whatsoever. And they think, I own this property, therefore I can crash through a door at any time. No, you can't. You have to give at least 24 hours notice to ever go through a door if you have a tenant there. And there's just so many more laws and rules and regulations. My response to Marilyn was, I would not be writing a different check out to any different person unless it was court ordered. Very, very important there, because I had a lease and a contract to make all payments out legally to B&M Storage. It had to go to B&M Storage. Regardless of Marilyn being the building owner, the lease said payment all goes to B&M Storage. And therefore, I would not deviate that from at all. A judge had to determine where my payment was going to go if it was ever to change.
As Marilyn continues to try and push her business partner out, Brian, I'm stuck in the middle as a renter. Except her and her lawyer tried to state to the local police that I'm not a tenant. Yet I have this certified letter from her lawyer that says your rent continues to be delinquent. Lease result in litigation. His words, not mine. Odd how you can tell somebody that their rent is delinquent if they're not a tenant, and that you're going to pursue litigation if they're not a tenant. Here's the issue. My rent is not delinquent. My rent goes to the joint business account, B&M Storage, every single month. It has never been late. It's always been there. It always will be there. And to get evicted, you have to go through the court system.
It was extremely foolish for Marilyn to ever bring a tenant into her battle with her business partner in the first place. And I want to clarify, I'm not the only tenant. There's another tenant. There's another tenant. And those tenants will be giving testimony in court against Marilyn as well. We are calling them as witnesses. So I'm not the only individual. It was very foolish on her part to start a battle and then put us in the middle of it when she could have been generating income the entire time, fought that battle in court, settled that battle in court, which, by the way, she settled that battle with her business partner, right? Her and Brian settled, and part of the settlement is she had to give all paid rents from all tenants to her business partner, Brian. That means anything I ever paid. Now, keep in mind, she declared I didn't pay $25,000 in rent. That rent money all went to Brian. So now her claim against me is completely null and void. She has no legal basis for any type of claim. She never did in the first place. She would have never won. I have all records and documents of payments. But she brought us all into this mix and into this mess. And as such, she did so many illegal things.
Got to the warehouse this morning with Christian and Patience. There's Patience and there's Christian. And my key is not working in the door. So I gave it to Christian to see if he could solve this problem for me. And Christian is trying to get into the door. And for some odd reason, we are completely and totally locked out of the warehouse. That's not working for you either?
Nope.
Okay, try the other key. The other key's to the other building, but... All right. Let's go try and see if we can get in the other building. We have one key for this building, and we have one key for this building. She locked me out. One key will go in the door here, one key will go in the door there, but the tumblers are changed. She locked us out.
Time to call the police. Yeah.
All right, calling the police. Brian, my building facility manager, he's on the phone with the sheriff department right now. So the building owner has changed all the locks, and we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Number one, why? And number two, this is illegal. You can't do this as a building owner unless you have a court order, and the sheriff has to be there for you to change the locks. So right now, we're gonna have the police out here. We're gonna see if we can get in the building. Just to be clear, I've always paid rent, correct?
Rent's been paid every month on time.
Never ever missed a payment.
Never.
The only time I didn't pay is when Marilyn did not pay the utilities. I had no electric, we didn't have any water. And even then, after that was put back on, I still paid the remaining balance, even though I didn't legally have to.
Exactly right.
So you just got off the phone with the local police?
Yes.
Okay.
And they said as long as we haven't been evicted, which we have not.
No eviction.
We have not been to court. We have not been served anything. We have rights to the building no matter which way we need to get in.
I came in this morning, actually at noon, to get into my warehouse building, and the locks were changed. Can you tell me if the building owner actually contracted the locks to be changed? You know, I've been nice to Marilyn up to this point, and I haven't pushed loss of income.
Jeremy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, we were out there. At that point, I'm not sure what's going on, but you'll have to talk to, is it Marilyn?
Okay, Wooster, we've already contacted Wooster Police, and she has illegally changed the locks, and there is no eviction notice. So my question is, will you come back and change them? She cannot legally change them without the eviction notice, and there is no eviction notice. And Worcester Police are already on this as well. She has illegally changed the locks. So you can contact Worcester Police as well.
Hold on here, all right?
Yes, thank you. If you're a landlord, you cannot do this. This is illegal.
All right, Jeremy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, at this point, we need to hear from the landlord again, see what's going on. We're kind of out of the loop on this.
Okay.
We were under the impression anything was going on.
Can I have the Worcester Police contact you directly?
You can.
The landlord, I mean, isn't going to communicate with me, but I'm going to have the Worcester Police contact you directly.
What's going on? Why can't you guys communicate?
Well, she obviously isn't communicating if I just got locked out of my facility. So what she's
Try calling her?
What she's attempting to do, I can't call her. I have a letter from her lawyer that all communication is to be through her lawyer. So she's trying to push her partner out of the business. I am a tenant in the business that pays every single month.
So there's a lot going on.
Yep.
There's a lot of issues that need to be sorted out, and we don't want involved in the middle of it.
Okay.
At this point. I'm sorry this has happened, but
Yep.
we need to know more what's going on. I want
Okay.
to hear from her. I want to hear from the police.
All right, I'm gonna have Worcester Police contact you, and then I will attempt contacting you back. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Good.
Bye-bye.
Here's the craziest part. Number one, I've paid every single month rent. Number two, as a tenant, I'm caught in between a partnership battle. And one partner has been extremely good. He's been great. The other partner hasn't paid utilities and now has changed the locks. Illegal without an eviction notice. Not only illegal without an eviction notice, illegal during these times in our world. No landlord can kick any tenant out of any place right now due to COVID-19.
Hello?
Marilyn, this is Jeremy Hales, tenant at...
Well, hello?
I would like my locks and my keys changed back, as I am a paying tenant, and you illegally changed the locks.
Questions, call my attorney.
Marilyn, I've already contacted the police, and I will be taking you for loss of income. You have illegally changed the locks, and I've been more than patient with you, as you didn't pay utilities, and now you've changed the locks, and you are affecting my business.
She locked me out of the warehouse. I was a paying tenant. Completely and totally changed the locks. I mean, some of you probably already remember this from a year and a half ago. I called the locksmith. Wooster Police were on the scene. Wooster Police declared that I was trespassing. And then the city of Wooster declared that I was a legal tenant and that she would have to pursue these things legally.
All right, I got Wooster Police here at the warehouse now. So Marilyn must have called when she's the one, she did the illegal things. So I'm gonna go figure out what's going on. We've got somebody else here as well. We got this individual here. There's Marilyn. So there's Marilyn, who you've heard earlier. So this is the person that you've heard earlier. What I need to know is, when I come down here to work tomorrow, is there going to be an issue? You told me I was trespassing. There's a trespassing order on me.
I didn't say there was a
Yes, you did. I recorded you. I have it in recording. Trailers. What do am I allowed on the property to get my trailers?
Yes, correct.
From the law standpoint,
Trespassing.
so I would be, so is there a trespassing order currently?
I'm telling you, you're not allowed on the property.
Did
So
she?
when we leave here,
Did she file a trespass order?
yeah.
So there is a trespass order already filed.
Do you want me to fill out a no trespass letter for you?
No, I don't think I need it. I just need to know, did she actually file one or not?
I did just receive a call from the officer on the scene. He contacted the Wayne County prosecutor. The prosecutor has shared that, yes, I have every legal right to be in the building. So tomorrow, business as usual. Locking me out of the warehouse just wasn't enough. Utilities started to drop off one by one. Now remember, in the lease, utilities are provided. So water got shut off.
Patience is actually screaming for us.
Hey!
What? It's the.
Toilet won't flush.
What do you mean the toilet won't flush?
Yo, I just went pee and I can't flush the toilet.
This is the warehouse bathroom. You mean, like, did you jiggle the handle?
Yeah, I jiggled the handle.
What's it doing?
It's just nothing. There's no water. She dry.
There's no water at all?
No.
Try the sink.
Yeah, there's nothing.
No water.
No, the sink won't even turn on.
You gotta be kidding me. Do you think Marilyn shut the water off on us?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my goodness. The landowner. You know you're gonna have to go down to the creek and flush that thing.
No, no.
There's a creek over to the side. You're not leaving that in there to fester.
Okay.
You're taking a bucket and you're gonna have to dump it in there. This is ridiculous. This is my life at the warehouse. This is don't you laugh. You're the one that.
All right, I want to promise you guys, if you come to the actual auction, let's call it, we'll get porta potties. We're not going to let the landlord get the best of us here. We'll get porta potties for the auction, and let's go flush the toilet. You should be carrying this.
I can. It weighs more than I do.
This warehouse situation seems to be going down the drain. All right, we can call the sheriff. We can get a hold of my lawyer to get a hold of her lawyer. This is just getting ridiculous. We did some searching. We did some calling. We did some investigating. Look at this here. You're never gonna believe this. Look at this here. That is right there. Disconnection. How the hails do you owe $986.85 on a facility where the only thing that happens is we flush the toilet? That's it. That's it. I'm going to tell you how it gets that high. It gets that high because she stopped paying long ago, and then it compounded and compounded and compounded. And I don't doubt that any second, any day now, my power is going to shut off as well. This is getting out of control. Having the water be shut off during a pandemic, major concern. Remember, health and safety turned the entire world, the economy, off completely. Completely. We were all at home, except I was at the warehouse. No water whatsoever. Couldn't even go to the bathroom. Had to take buckets down to the creek and then back up to the toilet to flush the toilet. I mean, it was a mess. And if water wasn't enough, then the power magically disappeared as well. Thankfully, with some intuition, some creativity, we were able to get power back into the building, but on our expense. An expense that should have never, ever been spent, because by the lease, the contract, all those utilities are provided by the actual landlord or the landlady, okay? And so all of these things are illegal. You cannot change locks. You cannot turn off utilities. You cannot, I mean, we could just go down a list. There are so many illegal things that have been done. It is just mind-boggling. And some people are thinking, well, Jeremy, Why have you stuck through it then? The reality is this. She has other buildings. If she gets away with doing it to me, and if I have the resources to actually keep her accountable to make sure she never does it to anybody else again, I need to have the character and the integrity to make sure she's held accountable so that this doesn't happen to somebody else who can't afford to fight it in court. Utilities disappearing just wasn't enough for her, though. All of a sudden, we've got break-ins. And with those break-ins, all of the security cameras start disappearing. So we've got a closed-circuit security system, and then it's completely gutted and ripped out. Nothing else is taken, just the security system. Little odd, little strange. It gets more interesting. Just look up there. Windows are open in the adjacent building. All the security cameras have been pulled. The monitor has been pulled. Who the hales would do such a thing?
I've been trying to get a hold of Marilyn for you, but I'm sending, you know where she lives? She still up on like Valley View?
Yes.
All right, I'm sending a deputy out there to try to get a hold of her.
Okay, so that was, officer said that he's trying to get a hold of Marilyn, but they're sending a deputy because Marilyn hasn't responded to anything.
You have a problem with squatters or anything here?
Like people, I've got a lot of stuff in here.
I just didn't know if people had broken in the past.
Well, they have.
I saw the mattresses, that's why I was.
We've had people living in here. Well, Jeremy buys storage units, so.
Okay. You able to scoot that? I'm not gonna get through here with this vest. If you don't mind, I appreciate it.
Pallet jack.
Yeah, there we go. So this is where my camera was sitting. It was sitting on this. This is all my stuff.
Okay.
It's directly facing this. This one's missing. Then I went upstairs to check on the other ones.
All right.
Well, let me show you this too. This is actually where the DVR and the TV were. Try not to touch any cables. My TV and DVR were sitting right there.
My building's fine.
All right, cool. Well,
Just the security isn't on it anymore.
Right. So what's your plan for security now? Just until
Camera system, another camera system.
Do you have an alarm on the building?
No, I don't even have a key to get in the building.
Oh,
that's
so
part of litigation.
you still got that
She
mess.
literally has me locked out illegally. I have to break in legally every time to get in.
If you get this figured out, like beyond court and everything, my best advice, like get an alarm system would help. Cameras are better than an alarm system, but if you get an alarm system, contact our dispatch, let them know, hey, got an alarm system, like this is the you know, give them like 3 people to call.
Yep.
Because a lot of times, especially on night shift, we get like, you know, alarm drops or whatever, and we have no key holders or no one to call, or they're outdated numbers, so just like stay on top of that. But I'd recommend it. So obviously you guys got a lot going on with, you know, this whole mess in court, it sounds like.
Yeah, and it is a big mess. It is a huge mess.
But there's no way that that's a coincidence. It's the 3 cameras that are all on our stuff.
No, that's
none of my stuff is touched, and 2 cameras that were sitting right beside the DVR.
Right, especially since, you know, you two are working together or whatever, you know, so and it happens to face that way. So what we think and what we can prove obviously are 2 different things. Right. So let me do some digging, see what I can work on. Like I said, I don't suspect that she physically did it. It doesn't sound like you do either, but she might know.
She knows her niece knows some shady people.
So we adapted. We went to a cloud serviced program that we could have that information, boom, right there, video in our hands any moment of time, even if somebody threw a camera in the toilet. Like they tried to run them down. These 3 things they tried to steal.
Yeah, these were taken out of the warehouse.
Brian! Did he call you guys? He called me. Okay. The security systems caught him. They staged these 3 items out here Friday night. They definitely went inside again, came back out. Brian probably pulled up. They probably ran. And Brian probably went after them. Once he saw the cameras, he probably freaked and...
No, that would make sense for sure.
And ran.
And then
Brian showed up.
Out here out front, huh? Okay, well hopefully they catch him, but I'm fairly certain we know who it is, so...
Hold on. Let me blow it up too, so you're getting the better...
He actually put the security cam in there. That's in the toilet, dude. Your camera's in the toilet.
Is that him?
That's in.
There he is. We just found him on Facebook. There he is. Mitch
Wasn't he wearing the same outfit?
Arnholt.
Red shirt though. That's him. Definitely him.
There's our thief. There's our burglar. I would have loved to have caught him. We better get to the toilet. Sorry, Barbara. All right.
There she is.
Is it in there? Wait. Oh! He sure did. There it is.
And it's still working.
Still working.
It's waterproof.
Oh my God.
Actually, they do say it's waterproof when you buy it, so.
Pee-proof too. Oh, there he is. There's good old Mitch.
Personally, I'm not sure who the bigger thief is. Was it Mitch who broke into the warehouse, or was it Marilyn who stole somehow, some way, all of the security cameras? Finally, almost a year later, we finally go to court. We're supposed to have a jury trial, but the judge determines, because of COVID, because of the pandemic, that the jury trial just can't go on. This is really, really important for what you're going to see and what you're going to hear in the future. The judge determined, for safety reasons, that the jury trial couldn't happen in May. It is pushed off until September. That's extremely important. COVID, safety, and in that arrangement, we agree. We come to one agreement with some very, very particular points that have to be met.
Major plot twist, right, Steve?
Yeah, so we were set for a jury trial this morning. Jury's supposed to come in at 8:30. Due to COVID, on Friday, the judge informed us he wasn't calling the jury in. So that should delay the trial because obviously we've asked for a jury and jury's not here.
So we actually have come to some agreement.
Yeah, you know, we're not willing to get rid of our claims against Marilyn for damages. So we're going to go forward on that.
Okay.
It's not going to happen today because the jury isn't here.
Yeah.
So we've set that for a date in September. And we're going to have a jury trial on those issues, okay?
Yep.
But as part of the settlement we made today, Marilyn's dismissing all of her claims against you. You need to get out of the warehouse by June 7th. You're going to get...
June 7th, I have to have that warehouse cleared. And I live in Florida now. This is going to be interesting, okay?
You're going to get a key to get in the property and get your items out.
That will be nice. I haven't had a key for over a year.
And she's going to have to make sure that the water and the electric is working for your part of the property.
Okay.
So that's the settlement. And again, we're going to have a jury on your part of the case.
So we have jury trial now is in September. The date hasn't been set by the judge yet, correct?
September 13th.
Obviously, Marilyn did not meet the agreed upon terms. Legally, I am still, obviously, in the sight and the eyes of the court who brought us together and said, hey, can you come to an agreement? And here's what we agreed upon. You don't make an agreement with somebody who's not a legal tenant. I'm a legal tenant. And until I'm evicted, I'm a legal tenant. Or until I decide to freely leave, I'm a legal tenant. I'll freely leave under the conditions that are met and that she's held accountable to her illegal activities.
No. Jeremy wants to know if you're going to call him. She said nope. Okay, he wants to talk to you. Is that okay?
Jeremy, it's Officer Chuai. What's up?
Yes, ma'am. I need to know what's going on if you don't mind sharing with me.
Well, we're trying to figure that out exactly right now.
Okay, so there's a court order.
I'm aware.
If you turn utilities back on, I would be out on June 7th. She did not have utilities back on, and that was based on a reasonable amount of time after the utilities were turned back on. She's in contempt of court, and that has been filed, and therefore I have not left based on that court order.
Well, she filed a contempt against you.
Yes, she did. Filed sanctions yesterday.
I'm aware. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, so this is a civil issue. We are not trespassing. We are still legal tenants based on, and so are my employees who are legal tenants. So there is no such thing as a no trespass on a legal tenant. That would be for a
Jeremy, listen. At this point, until something's ruled on, you guys are not allowed here.
You have the ruling in your hands that says that
Jeremy, I'm not going to argue with you.
Here we go again. Officer trying to be a judge. She says all of this stuff about the court order. Oh, I'm a legal tenant until I am legally evicted, until a judge says that I'm trespassing.
I mean, my intention isn't to file trespassing charges on you guys, but my guess is that after this is probably you guys will have to leave when we leave.
But it gets crazy. I mean, it just gets so much crazier. After being told, my employees being told that they were at potential being arrested for trespassing. First of all, you can't be arrested when you are an actual tenant. Landlords cannot put no trespassing orders on any individuals. Individuals can come. It's not like it's your personal home. If you live in your personal home, you can put a no trespassing order on Jeremy Hales. When you're a landlord and you lease that space out, you can't put a no trespassing order on anybody. You just can't do it in the state of Ohio. I understand different states are different with different laws. And so now Wooster Police are trying to tell employees that, no, yeah, you're in trouble for trespassing. And then, just a day later, her lawyer is begging us to be on the property. You got to figure somehow, some way, Marilyn is beyond giving her lawyer a run for his money. Because when my employees show back up to the actual warehouse, this is what Marilyn did.
We're at the warehouse. We're going to try to get some posters that Jeremy bought. But the lock doesn't work. I actually put it right this time.
They also actually got our way where we got in up. They boarded that up. It's weird because they flipped around the window. It's the opposite way they used to be.
Yeah.
So they definitely pulled it out.
There's like a whole bunch of cardboard stuff right here. I don't know.
Marilyn's actually over there right now. And then they definitely threw like all of the stuff out here.
Yeah.
I don't even know whose stuff this is.
No, I have no clue.
I don't even know where this came from. I don't even know what that stuff is.
I mean, nothing's really changed. It still looks like this.
It's still unlocked, but it's latched on the inside.
And there's just stuff everywhere.
Well, we can't get in anymore.
No. They changed the locks again.
Marilyn filed contempt of court on me, and I filed contempt of court on Marilyn. Marilyn stating, I didn't leave in time. I'm stating, Marilyn didn't meet the terms of the agreement for me to leave. I am not going to put people's safety at risk because Marilyn wants me out by a certain day and a certain time. Safety first. Remember the judge who said, no jury trial. We're going to wait until it's safer until September. What do you think the judge is going to say about this now, Marilyn? I mean, honestly. And the funny thing is, her lawyer says, I'm sorry. I don't feel bad for you. You would think if it was so important to Marilyn to get me out of the property, that number one, she would have done everything she'd agreed upon. Period, right? Okay, number two, you wouldn't put new locks on the doors, right? Okay, this is just getting crazy. This is getting beyond crazy. July 15th was supposed to be the new trial date for Marilyn's contempt of court of me, my contempt of court on Marilyn. But Marilyn's lawyer can't make it on July 15th. This is where it gets even more insane. So it's been pushed even further. Wait, they want me out immediately. But they've pushed the trial date out even further. August 5th. By the way, Wayne County Courts, you are invited. It is a public hearing. You can come to the Wayne County Courts in Wooster, Ohio, and you can watch it all unfold yourself. And then in September, the jury trial. The trial of the century. Now, Marilyn's lawyers called it a circus. But, really, who's the ringmaster here?